Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees, November 13th, 2024. It is 6:34. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Trustee Henson.
Present.
Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Rakes.
Present.
Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udris.
Present.
Open to the public, agenda items only. May I please have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Make that motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Thank you. And moving on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Bogues. First, I wanted to let everyone know that candidate petition packets can be filed here at the Village Hall. They began on yesterday and it will last through next Monday, which will be the final day, November 18th at 5 p.m. The election will be held on April 1st, 2025. Anyone that would like to register to vote can do so, and that can come to the Village Hall, to the front office to be able to register, and that's Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, last but not least, I'm putting together a turkey drive that will be held at New Hope Christian Community Church. I've partnered with Elevate Hope and local businesses which have donated for the drive, which will be on Saturday, November 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 noon or until while supplies last. Of course, also there with some of the businesses that have already joined in, Harold's Chicken, Kitty Care House, Granny Moss Kitchen, Terrell's Eat the Bone Barbecue, DDP, and other businesses who are coming on board to just try to reach out in this giving event for this time. Also, Harold's Chicken has given extra incentives right now where anyone that comes in a customer, they can donate each can that they donate, they'll be able to receive a free raffle, the ticket entry, and then anyone who donates any unwrapped toys will be receiving 5 raffle ticket entries. And then on November 25th, they will be pulling a drawing, the winner, which the winner will receive 50 wings, family fry, okra, and honey biscuits, and they can choose to have that either for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, whichever they prefer.
Nice.
And a report.
Thank you. Just a couple quick notes under my report. October 29th, which I'm sure Trustee Wilson will touch on, was the groundbreaking for Vortman Steel, which was attended by Governor Pritzker, Senator Joyce, Representative Haas, Mark Vortman, Ben and Adrian Morrell, and Doug Pryor from the Will County Center for Economic Development. October 31st, sorry, Mike, if I'm taking all your thunder. WGN aired Your Hometown, and Monee was featured on that. And on November 7th, I was very excited to be invited to the Wind Creek Casino. There was a private event for a sneak peek, and it's really a very beautiful place, so it was kind of cool to be able to go see that. Very good food. And then, of course, November 9th, which Heidi, I'm probably stealing yours here, was the time capsule opening, so that was well attended and enjoyed by all. So that's it under my report. Moving on to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First item under my report is the Village Hall remodel project. This is pay request number 4 from PSI. The village has recently received pay request number 4 from PSI for work completed on the new Village Hall remodel project. The invoice has been reviewed by staff and found to be in compliance with all plans, specifications, and is summarized below. Work completed to date is $424,281.19. less a 10% retention of $42,176.01. Net completed to date is $382,105.18, less a previous bill of $38,660.70. Amount due this pay request is $84,931.71. Board action request is a motion to approve PSI's pay request number 4 in the amount of $84,931.70.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Is there a target completion date?
still on track to finish Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving is the targeted date.
Is there a targeted move-in date?
Hopefully, the first week of December is what we're on track for.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is Fireman's Park Phase 1 construction. This is pay request number 6 from PSI. The village has received the attached pay request number 6 from PSI for the above referenced construction project. Farnsworth Group and village staff have reviewed the invoice and found the work to be in substantial compliance with all OSLED grant requirements, engineering plans, and specifications. This payment request is for work completed during the pay period of October the 15th through October 30th of 2024. The amount certified for payment is $222,145.79. Board action request is a motion to approve pay request number 6 to PSI in the amount of $222,145.79 for work completed during the pay period of October 15th through October 30th of 2024.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is Public Works New Construction, pay request number 6 to PBS. The village has received pay request number 6 from PBS for the Public Works New Construction project for the pay period ending on October 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $560,471.31. All the invoices and supporting documentation for payment have been reviewed and certified by the Farnsworth Group and village staff and meet the plans and specifications according to the contract. Board action request is a motion to approve pay request number 6 to PBS for the pay period ending on October 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $560,471.31.
Make that motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udress.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Henson.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Rakes.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next and last item is a bid award for the Village Hall Monument Marquee Sign. On October 29th, 2024, staff received one bid for the new Village Hall Monumental Marquee Sign project. The bid project was placed in a local publication and on the village website for the mandatory 15-day public notice. The bid packet was properly submitted to the village and was open for public disclosure at 12 p.m. The contract bid submission was found to be in complete accordance to the contract requirements and includes a dismantling of the current sign at 52711 Egyptian Trail, 25711, my mistake. Egyptian Trail, removing the ID cabinet from the limestone caps and a masonry base, to install a new electronic message center with cellular connectivity and compatible with the current Village Hall marquee sign located at 5130 West Court Street, and also add additional support pipe and reinstall the top cabinet above the new message center. One bidder was Express Signs, and their bid was $31,908.00. Board action request is a motion to award the contract to Express Signs for the bid amount of $31,908.00.
I make that motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Did they do our sign here in front of this building?
Yes, sir. It's the same company.
So this amount is for everything installed and ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Every unit and everything, and that's installed, correct?
Yes, sir. And it'll also simultaneously put out the same messaging as the one in front. And the users who have administrative rights will be able to put the sign from their cell phones or tablets as well. In the event we have to close because of inclement weather or put out emergency notices, we'll be able to do that at both signs simultaneously.
That one will be attached with this one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's pretty neat. Thank
So-
you.
And you said cell phone connectivity, so somebody could essentially even do that remotely.
Remotely. Yes, ma'am.
I left him.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Idris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Yes. Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to the officials' reports. Public Works, Trustee Horn.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say that I heard you on the radio last week, and you represented our village well, so thank you for that. End of report.
All right, thank you. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. And first, I'd like to say, too, happy birthday, Monee. So if anybody hadn't noticed, our actual birthday was last Saturday, and I, too, got to attend the birthday party here and saw the time capsule stuff from the old time capsule and some of the new things going in. And it really was, it was really fascinating, as always, too, and listening to some of the history of the town. And every time I learned something new, too. So if you haven't studied up on Monee history, you really should. It's really cool. On to the report. This past weekend, we celebrate Monee's 150th by displaying items from the time capsule and items that are going into the new time capsule. We heard all about the history. Heard all about the history of Monee as presented by the Monee Historical Society. We had birthday cake and shared stories, and a historic moment for Monee, and one we won't forget. We celebrated all year and look forward to continuing to make memories and history here in Monee. Coming up next is another senior luncheon on Wednesday, November 20th for Thanksgiving with turkey and all the trimmings. Registration is $7 per person, and senior bingo is going strong with thanks to our sponsors who have been bringing wonderful prizes, coffee, donuts, fresh fruit, and even more. This is a free event to attend, and our next senior bingo is November 21st from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Park Building. And the other thing coming is Christmas is coming. Meeting our annual tree lighting ceremony right around the corner on Friday, December 6th at 6 p.m. for the lighting of our village tree right out front of this village hall. And as I understand it, Santa will be arriving by fire truck and then join us for those kind of festivities. And then following the morning, shoots for breakfast with Santa, and adults are $10 and kids are $8, and you get pictures with Santa too. So please call Monee Parks and Rec at 534-8302 to register for Christmas pancakes with Santa. And we also have another thing that we've been doing. This will be the second year, I believe. We've got bins around town to collect hats, mittens, and toys that are going to local families at Monee Elementary. And I'm going to highlight the fact that it stays in Monee. For more information, please call Parks again at 534-8302. So there is need in our community, and this is another way to support. And I have one more thing for Monee Women's Club. It will be, the next meeting is coming up on the 19th, on November 19th, a meeting at the Monee Heritage Center at 6:30 for snacks, and 7 o'clock the meeting starts. End of report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Finance, Trustee Rakis.
Thank you, Mayor. For my report tonight, the village tax levy was filed with Will County Clerk's office on November 7th. The village board did not increase the village levy as previously voted on. The village treasurer's report was filed with Will County's treasurer's office on October 31st. The village will begin its budgeting process for fiscal year 2026, January 2025. The village has also opened its Illinois Funds account, which will allow the village more flexibility with investing options. Opening the Illinois Funds account will allow overnight and/or long-term investments. The village is also working to have e-pay as a primary source of all municipal payments due to the village. End of report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a happy birthday, Monee. First of all, as Mayor said, past Saturday, we had the time capsule release. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for the event, but I heard that you had a stunning appearance, which I've seen some pictures floating around with you in a vintage dress. So thank you for all your support. A recap of October for economic development. We've been busy, as you see, with the Dollar Tree and also with the Starbucks. The framing's up, so we get still construction up, still rolling to have the walls and construction completed by the end of this year. And next March is the projected date for opening. So I would like to encourage everyone to go visit the website, our website, the villageofmonee.org, and take a look at a couple of different tabs there. We got the economic development tab, and then we also have Monee News and Highlights. So if you look in there, you'll see kind of what's going on in town. And how many of you knew that the village was featured in WGN's Radio 720, Your Hometown segment for the month of October? So those interviews that were on there are also on the website. So I encourage you to take a listen, take a look around. Some really good feedback coming back already, positive feedback from that segment. People are getting to begin to know Monee and know what we're about and ask questions and what's going on. So I know Economic Development Director Bill Barnes is already fielding calls just from the radio segment from last month. So it's worth its weight in salt. So we're getting our name out there. People are interested. The businesses are coming. He's working on a couple of new redevelopment projects that hopefully we can speak on in the near future. But the wheels are always turning. So as always, when available, shop Monee. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Building Services, Trustee Henson.
Just like to say happy birthday, Monee. End of report.
Awesome, thank you. And Public Safety, Trustee Udris?
Yeah, let's give it a
Maybe?
go. All right. Sorry about that. First off, yeah, happy birthday, Monee, 150 years young. Definitely can't wait to see, although I won't be here, what the next 150 brings. So in our 300 years should be fabulous. Moving on to our emergency management agency, Monee EMA has applied for membership to the Illinois Search and Rescue Council, commonly known as the ISAR. ISAR is a 54-member joint agency which will increase specialty training and resources such as field teams, specialty canine teams, ATV teams in the field of search and rescue. So membership will definitely increase our resources and the ability for our agency to groom our community and give us, some aid that hopefully we don't ever need in the future. But great to know that it's there. For our police department, and I just want to the first thing here, and again I can talk from personal experience. Police Explorers, great program for teenagers. If you know a teenager that's between the ages of 14 and 19 that has even a thought of making law enforcement a career, I highly encourage you to take the time to come out to the police department, become an explorer, and learn about this fabulous field. You get to work with our officers, learn about law enforcement. Applications are available at the police department Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. You can contact Deputy Chief Lazzaroni here, or also Officer Matt Hoekstra if you have any questions. But again, I just highly encourage. It's something I think every teenager should go through and experience. It's a ton of fun. Also, Monee Police Department wants to encourage every pet owner to get their pet microchipped. Having your pet microchipped can help our police department quickly identify your pet and get them home safely and quickly so they don't have to go through the trauma of being away from you. And I didn't know this, but South Suburban Humane Society actually offers free microchipping services to anybody that's interested. So it won't cost you anything to protect your pet because they are part of our family. So, end of report.
Great, thank you very much. Moving on to the attorney's report, Larry.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two items. The first item is just discussion. Both of them are just discussion purposes. Would the board be authorized myself, or if you deem appropriate, to draft a new liquor license classification known as BYOB? It would be maybe a limit of 3. There'd be very strict requirements. It could help a couple of our business who are, at this point in time, probably financially struggling. It would be drafted from one that I've seen before that's been very good. And this other village has probably got about 30 or 40 BYOBs. So would the board give that authority just to review it, to draft it and to review it?
Can you give us a little more details on what it?
Well, basically what it is, that person, he or she would have the ability to bring in, whether it be wine or beer, into a facility, into a restaurant. Restaurant, not a gaming facility, not a bar per se, but a restaurant that serves primarily, that caters to the public. They would have to bring it in, it would have to be sealed. They can then pour it at their table, just for their patrons only. It can't be for other patrons inside the facility. After they're done, it's got to be sealed again. They could walk out the door with it sealed. They would have to do the basket training. They would have to have dram shop liability insurance. There's a lot of liability from the restaurant owner per se too. So it's just something.
So the restaurant owner would need to do basket training?
Yes, ma'am.
And would they still be required then to like card people, check to make sure that they're of legal age, things
Yes.
like that, just
Yes.
like any other place?
Yeah, there's only maybe 2 restaurants right now who could probably qualify, and they would probably need it.
Now, you said for their patrons only, you mean for their party only? The
Pardon me?
people- You said for their patrons
Just
only,
their-
just for their party
Of that table,
of
correct.
people at that
It's not
table.
for
Okay,
other people,
Just
other
clarification.
customers, and no,
understood.
no.
So this is like a special use permit, kind of, but for an establishment.
It would be another classification or liquor license. So he or she would have to go before the mayor as liquor commissioner, the board have to approve it. It's just another classification. I think we have A through F right now. It would be G. And again, you could limit the number. You could say 2. You could say, I won't say 1, I say at least 2. Otherwise, 1 doesn't look proper. So, but it's another classification. They have to go through the background check. Again, the most important thing is liability insurance, dram shop, and the basket training.
So, go ahead.
Go, Chuck.
So the only thing that would concern me about this, Larry, is he got it, she got it, now the next person that comes in, because there was a limit, like we were having the problem with the gaming situation, because I'm for business and I get it. To limit the amount of, when it doesn't really, I get that it helps the business, but it doesn't help the business at the same time. And my only other worry would be, is there going to be young people bringing in booze and things like that to an establishment? I'm for it as long as it's done correctly, just like anything else. I just worry that that would be something down the line where we'll have to say no to someone, and then we open up that situation.
Personally, I don't see a reason to limit this particular license. To set that we're only going to let 2 out or 3 out. We've got requirements that they need to meet to be able to do it. I don't see a need to limit the number.
And Scott, I agree, to where if we limit it and we say, well, it's the first 2 that apply, and then no one else, so I agree with you.
Well, I'm sorry, dear, go ahead.
Okay, a couple questions. Well, I mean, that's our job to control these type of things, so whether we decide on 2 or 5, that's that's a discussion for another day. But here's a question. Who supplies the glasses? Do you bring them in with you, or does the establishment supply them?
Most of the time, the establishment.
Okay. All right.
And I guess to both your points too, even limiting it, so as Larry said, probably only 1 or 2 establishments right now would even fit into that qualification. So in my mind, that brings in more people who might want to apply. And even if it is only 1 or 2 of those establishments who right now would qualify for that, they would have to apply for it. So maybe they don't even want it. So again, to Scott's point, we don't, for right now, maybe don't even have to limit the number because we don't even know if these establishments are interested in doing so.
Right. Plus, we're going to have all the requirements that they're going to need to meet to not only get the license, but to maintain it. So, I don't think it's like gaming where we're trying to, help kind of hold the competition. Something like this, I think it might actually help us to attract more restaurants.
And so the only thought I had of the 1 or 2 that might qualify now might not want to do it. So maybe they want their place only to be for little guys and, 7 or 8 year olds and don't want to even subject themselves. Even if somebody is limited to 3 drinks, maybe they don't even want that, So all in all, I think it's certainly worth a draft and further explanation of it.
Larry, you said wine and beer, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that would be it?
Yeah, just wine and beer.
I think investigation into it or looking into it would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to dive into this a little further. My thoughts immediately go to regulation or enforcing. Who you're going to get an overworked staff who's tied up with getting orders. Now they're responsible who bought what and how many. So it sounds good in favor of the business whoever may want this type of permit, if you would. But to me, still, it seems like we're skating around the liquor license. So it's there, it's in place for a reason, because a lot of times when you have alcohol, or overindulgence of alcohol, you have issues, you have problems. Nobody really thinks about the negative and only the positive, that it's going to bring in customers and that everybody's going to be responsible, and it doesn't always happen. So it's good until it goes bad, and I'm not feeling this right now. So we got to look into this a little bit more.
And the state of Illinois has a section for this? I mean,
Yes, I mean, we're home rule, and I will say again, representing businesses, I know the expense for dram shop. So if he or she's willing to get dram shop insurance, that's expensive. And the Bassett training is not cheap. And then his or her liability insurance goes up. So there's a financial commitment from them because dram shop is not cheap. So it's just something to...
If somebody does do it, they're going to really want to do it and really pay for doing it.
Yes.
So therefore, we would hope that they would keep it regulated within their business very well.
Are there any businesses right now in town that have expressed an interest in this?
We believe there's one, and that business is financially hurting.
Because I would wonder if they would be interested in coming and talking and be able to answer some questions to kind of give us an idea of how they plan to run it.
And I would say the cart before the horse.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm curious as to, from the business owner's perspective, how do they see this as a benefit? How do they plan to work with it? Because you're going to have to make sure that your wait staff then is of age so that they can legally be around it, right? So that changes who you can hire. It increases your cost of hiring people because of the training they need to get. So I'm just curious as to, again, it's the same question that I've asked a couple other businesses when they've asked about, or coming here about gaming licenses. How do you really think that this is going to truly affect your business, and how you think it's going to save your business? And I'd like to hear what they have to say.
I think this candidate would probably be very willing to come in to...
So you have physically had somebody from our village already asking about this kind of license?
I don't want to get into that much, but this
All right.
company is, this entity will be coming before the board probably sooner than later. So should I do a draft for the board's review? I mean, it's just discussion purposes.
Yeah.
And more information I like, for sure.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
So right now, just put that we'll do a consensus in order for you to be able to pull this forward. So everyone's a yes, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Should I bring it?
thank you.
Deputy Chief, would you have anything to add regarding this at all?
At this point, no. I mean, I think most of the stuff was covered. I know there's different from other restaurants I've seen. I don't think you have to be of age, like waitresses or waiters, to be around that, I don't believe. Because a lot of restaurants, they just can't serve the beer or the alcohol. So I never seen that, we never had that in town, so I don't really have the experience to actually give any advice or on that,
Okay, thank you.
so.
That's all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to unfinished business. Larry?
I have one thing, Mayor. I know almost a year and a half ago, the gentleman came in from Turning Point, I think it's called. Remember they want to put in those
So,
solar panels? And I think it was suggested a pre-annexation agreement be reviewed. That gentleman's no longer with the company, as far as I know. It sounds as though now this Turning Point is looking for a pre-annexation agreement. That is probably, they're going to buy or lease that property from the owner, and it's probably subject to getting a pre-annexation agreement for that site. So, we probably should look at this a little further. I could bring in an agreement for the next board meeting, because there was discussion going back and forth. I think there was some concerns as to what's in it for the village per se, how big would it be, and at least we could get this thing going sooner than later, because if you go down I-57, I see one even in UP now. They're coming on board pretty quickly. So with the board's permit, just to let the board know, I'll bring in a sample pre-annexation agreement. I'll have to probably find who's the contact person now, because that one young gentleman, he's no longer there. But if you read the paper now, that's all that's coming in down 55, 57, so I'd rather be proactive, but I will bring a sample in for the next meeting. That's all I have, Your Honor.
And anything that maybe limits that, Larry, in the village, I don't know if anything has changed from the last time we talked about this with the amount of what's allowed and what's not. I think it's a good thing if it works the way that they say it's going to work.
I agree, but I'll bring a sample for the board.
Thank you.
thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
New business, anybody? Open to the public, non-agenda items?
I would like to say something, Mayor. I know we only have one meeting this month, but I would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and to be safe, spend time with your family and enjoy that. And I enjoy everybody here, so happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you.
Same to you.
All right, next up, executive session for, number 1, 5 ILCS 120/2C5, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. The 4 following PIN numbers: 211422 300 004 0000, 211417 402 014 0000, 211417 402 038 000, I'm assuming, and 211417 402 032 0000. So if I may please have a motion to exit regular
I'll
session.
make that motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
7:08.
Motion to open regular session, please.
So moved.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
7:59.
All right. Possible action to be taken after executive session, possible purchase or lease of real property. Can I please have a motion to authorize the administrator to offer the appraisal price for PIN number 211422 300-004-0000?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Say what? Oh, I did not. 1.9 million. Sorry. Got too many numbers. All right, and may I please have a motion to authorize Bill Barnes to offer the appraisal prices of $220,000 for PIN number 21174020380000.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
No.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
And may I please have a motion to authorize Bill Barnes to offer the appraisal price of $180,000 for PIN number 2114174020320000.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Henson?
No.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Board. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
Make
So
that
moved.
motion?
Second.
Roll call,
F.
please.
Trustee Henson?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
8:01 PM.
Thank you, Board.